Hello everyone, my name is Apurva and welcome to the part 3 of Holiday Planning app. If you haven't watched the first two parts, please watch them. The link is in the description. This is the part 3 where we cover the calendar screen. But before that, let's do a quick recap of what we have covered so far. First, we created the database in SharePoint and created three separate lists, one for employee, one for holiday calendar, and the last one was for the leave request. Then we created two different screens in PowerApps, one for the user screen where they can come in and apply for a leave, and the second screen was for the approver to see all the pending requests and approve or reject it. Now moving on to the final screen, which is the calendar screen. But before moving on to that, let's take a moment to understand what we are trying to build here. On the left side, we see the employee list. On the top of that employee list, there is a search bar where you can search the employee name. Then on the right side, we have the main calendar along with the 2 week view. And on the right top, we have a reset button. In the middle, we see the current month and year we are on, and there are two navigations button left and right, so you can navigate 2 weeks back or 2 weeks forward. So let's see how we can achieve that. First, let's add the easiest part, which is the employee gallery. For that, we need a vertical gallery, and here we will point it to our employee collection. Then let's add the relevant fields, like for example, I need the employee name to be visible on the left side. And then I also want to show the department that they belong to, so let's add that in. Now let's work on the middle part where we see the current month and year. Now that we have the current month, let's create a copy of this label to get the current year. Now let's focus on this part of the calendar where it shows the 2 week view. Notice how it's showing that today is Tuesday, but it's showing everything from Monday, right? So right now when I'm shooting this video, it's 8 August. So even though it's Friday, I need to show it from the 4th, which is Monday. So let's see how we can do that. For that, I'm creating a collection to store the dates. I'm going to use a combination of for all sequence and date add. So a sequence requires three parameters. First is the record. Since we are creating 2 week view, we will use 14. Then the start will be 0 and we will increment by 1. Then in the date add function, we need to compute our formula in such a way that even though today is Friday, we see the entire week from Monday. So for me, I've decided my week starts from Monday. So you can use start of week function and declare Monday as your start of week. But if you want to start your week by Sunday, Tuesday, whatever, you can choose that. Since we are writing the formula on the on visible property of this screen, we need to go to some other screen and come back so that this formula gets initialized. Now let's see what our collection holds. So the start is from 4th and end is till 17th August. The 4th is Monday and 17th it's ending on Sunday. So that's correct. That gives us 2 weeks from Monday to Sunday first and then another week from Monday to Sunday. Now let's add a horizontal gallery to display this 2 week. We'll use a blank layout as we only need one label that displays the date, and actually two. We need date and the date. Now that we have added both the labels to display the day and the date, let's arrange it a bit so we can see all the days in one glance. And notice how you won't see Sunday, the second Sunday on my screen, because at this point I thought I'm covering all the days, but unfortunately I missed out the second Sunday. So bear with me throughout the video. But at the end I realized this, and at the end you can see that Sunday. So never mind. Let's come back to that one later. Also, I'm gonna remove this picture for now because I need to arrange all this in a way so that I can fit all my dates. And don't worry about the UI. We are gonna fix the UI and we're gonna make it more clean. Right now, I want to focus more on functionality and how we can achieve those dates and everything in one glance. So let's focus on that for now. Now we are gonna work on the left and right button that you see on the screen. So let's add left and right icons. And I'm going to merge these two labels into one so it's easier to move around these two labels just for now, because I'm more focusing on the functional side of the app rather than UI. So let's delete this one. So if I click this left button, I should go 2 weeks back, which means 21 to 3rd. For some reason, I thought second is the correct one. I skipped Sunday altogether, but that's fine. Let's see how we can do that. First, we will copy the entire formula that we have on visible property and add it on the left icon and right. Since we are going back, when we click left icon, we are going to minus the week or the days that we want to go back. And similarly, on the right icon, we are going to add. Now, somehow I messed up here and skipped Sunday. So my days are a bit off in the beginning, but it will still make sense because we can think that we are doing from Monday to Saturday instead of Sunday. Now, even though we are able to navigate back and forward, it's still wrong because we are only able to achieve to go 2 weeks back and then 2 weeks forward from the current date, and that's not what we want. What we want is we would need to go back and forward throughout the entire calendar. For that, we need to maintain the start date, and I'm going to store that in a variable. Based on that start date, will determine how back we can go or how forward we can go. So let's use this variable start date and add that to our collection formula. Now that we have initialized variables and updated the collection, let's see if our formula works. Also notice at this point I've realized that I had made a mistake, and my week starts from Monday till Sunday. So I'm just gonna fix my formula everywhere wherever I had written 13, it should actually be 14 because we are considering 2 whole weeks. So let's try this. Okay, I still see there is some mistake because my week starts from Tuesday and it ends at Sunday. So let's try and fix this as well. So I was also adding one extra day in my start date, which is not needed. We can get rid of it. And as soon as we do that, we can see our the week starts from Monday and then it ends on the Sunday. Now let's quickly test this. So our week starts from 4th Monday and should end on 17th Sunday, which is correct. If we go back, then our week will start from 21st Monday and should end on 3rd. Let's try that. Okay, so 21 and 3, so that works. And we can still go back and back as long as we want. And similarly, we can go forward and check all the dates are visible correctly and it's adding up correctly the way it should. Now, let's say we navigated way too far. We need to come back to the current week. We need a reset button just like how they have shown in the picture. So let's add that in. And on the reset button, you're just going to copy paste whatever you wrote on the on visible property and paste it here. It will act exactly as the way you initialize your whole collection. And then finally, let's add color to the current date to highlight the current day and date both. So we'll add a if condition to check whether this value is equals to today, and let's set the color to, let's see, maybe red. Okay, no, red doesn't look that great. So let's try light blue or something. Okay, yeah, this works. Let's compare our progress to the screenshot. So we have built everything. Now the only thing remaining is the main body, main calendar with the different colors. So let's cover that in the next video, and that's it for this time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.